Ships can be dangerous places. No one wants accidents to happen, but sometimes they do. How often they do, and how bad they are, can often depend on the quality and extent of a ship's safety management system, or SMS for short. And how to judge if a ship's SMS is good enough to keep its crew and cargo safe and in good condition, prevent pollution and other environmental damage, and so on. In recent years, the answer to that question has often been how you apply the International Safety Management Code, usually known as the ISM Code. Like most regulatory systems, the ISM Code has broad support from the industry it affects. But there are other views as well.
The negative assumptions are that they're going to have a very large, documented, complicated system to meet the code.
One of the feelings was that we know it all, we've been operating ships for years, and why do we need a code now to tell us how to operate a ship, or a company for that matter?
They think it's a lot of paperwork and it's only to clear everything from any blame if anything goes wrong.
A lot of people, both ashore and on board ships, think it's a paper exercise.
Clearly, some people feel that the ISM Code is no more than a bureaucratic burden, a sterile system that has no relevance to real life, either on a working ship or in shore-based organizations. But is that the whole story?
There are benefits because you can see the improvement in the safety, and that's where we really need to sort of target, is to change people's attitudes to safety.
The communication gets better between ship and office, and that helps to understand each other.
Now we're finding that there's more onboard training coming from the officers to the crew, and also that training is safety aware as well. It's making the crew more safety awareness, which is reducing accidents, which is the name of the game.
There are less accidents than there were before, because people are more, they're taking the right precautions because they have the right means. You have the paper there, you follow it, so you know that you've done everything.
I think the ISM code is good because it keeps the seafarers alert and controlled with the company, and in this way there's communication and maintenance. Maintenance also preserves the safety of the ship.
It seems that people, when they put their signature somewhere, they are more careful.
As the system settles down and it's working, one would see lesser accidents. Lesser accidents, then the next thing people would say is lower costs.
There's a clear body of opinion which says that the ISM Code is a key element in accident prevention and loss reduction, and that it need not be the burden it's sometimes claimed as being. In fact, putting it at the heart of an SMS can deliver benefits in terms of the smooth and safe operation of a ship.
The safety management system that the company produces should reflect its own business practice, not what other people want.
Looking to the ISM code itself, there's nothing written about you must have 1,400 procedures and 1,200 checklists. When you're a good ship owner, you follow already the regulations. So what you have to do then is see where you already comply with the code, write down what you do, and after that do what you have written down.
The best systems are where the companies develop them themselves. It reflects the way they do business. And it doesn't have to be big. People have got this wrong concept. The bigger the system, the better it is. This is wrong. If you make the system small, compact, lean, it's easy to use and people get the benefits of it.
Clearly, far from being a burden, if it's used well, the ISM Code will be an asset to a well-run ship. So how do the misapprehensions and poor use of the code come about?
The ISM code, I think, has been overinterpreted by shipping companies. It's actually very simple.
They are many times, mostly these small companies, afraid of ISM code. What shall we do? So the way they solve the problem is, can we buy it anywhere?
They probably use a consultants. They had one or two very experienced personnel in the office who prepared the code, prepared the safety management system in a very detailed way. And it didn't really align itself with what the realities were on board their ships.
It's not easy because now seafarers very seldomly work for one company. They work from one company to another, from different company cultures. So even a very experienced seafarer, for himself may not believe this system can make any benefit to him.
Failure to get staff involved, lack of clear responsibility, lack of proper training, and sometimes just the blind introduction of too many manuals and paperwork. These can all contribute to a system simply not doing what it's intended to do. Those are some of the most common mistakes. But what of those companies and ships where the ISM code is working as it should? Most companies and individuals have fully embraced the code and are operating more efficiently as a result. That can include fewer incidents, reduced costs, improved insurance records, and so on. Are there common factors in their approach that others can learn from?
For implementation on board, the most important thing is the commitment from the top, because everybody takes direction from the top.
They are the only one who can assign resources, and resources is needed for any implementation of quality systems.
I think that's what the big advantage of ISM code is. It's not only the ship or the people on the ship who have to be aware of preventive maintenance and be aware of safety and be aware of pollution or non-pollution, but also the shore is committed to be aware of safety, but or their preventive maintenance.
So the first thing is to make sure that commitment to the code starts from the top down and involves the shore side as well as those at sea.
Most important for shipping companies is to not create a blame culture. It's your fault that things went wrong, things were not done.
Somebody does something wrong. That means that he either don't have the knowledge to do it right, or he likes it to do it wrong. Where in a professional talking, nobody likes to do something wrong. So what is missing here is training.
Ship staff must be assured from top management that we don't entertain a blame culture. Encourage the staff to report near misses and non-conformities, because from that we learn the trends of where we might be needing to put more attention.
If you don't have people reporting what actually happened or what went wrong, you'll never know how to fix it.
And the second thing is to foster a no-blame culture. It's the only way to get an accurate picture of what's actually happening on board.
Auditors will always start with a positive attitude towards you and your company or your ship.
It is not a battle.
What they are looking for is compliance with the code. And they are not nitpicking.
The fact that he finds non-conformities is not a problem. He's identified something within the system that needs to be fixed.
And it's important to use audits to achieve something positive. Let's look briefly at those 3 points again. The whole company, from senior management downwards, including everyone on the shore side involved with safety and pollution prevention, needs to take a proactive attitude towards safety, the prevention of pollution, and environmental protection. Fostering a no-blame culture will help make sure that all non-conformities are reported and used as opportunities to improve the system. Whether it's following an incident or simply the reporting of a hazardous condition, a frequent outcome is that relevant personnel may receive additional training. And although some people may find it hard to believe at first, it's important to recognize that external, and particularly internal audits and auditors can actually add value. They're involved with the working conditions of the entire crew, the safety of crew, ship and cargo, and environmental concerns. Continuous improvement is what they're all about. That's why they're often helpful sources of information about how the ship can be made a safer place to work. So how do we go about improving the effectiveness of the ISM code and producing something which is an asset to the ship and to the management company?
Some of the companies that I've audited have very simple, exact systems that reflect their work practices, and they work perfectly. They only have 2 or 3 small volumes, and it works.
Over the years, we have seen that we had to cut down a lot rather than increase the onboard documentation to make it effective.
People have to look at how to take the sections of the code, link them together, and integrate them. This will reduce the volume of the safety management system and make it more effective.
When we implemented the system, we immediately realized that whatever we have, it has to be very close to what we were doing. And we actually continuously revised and reviewed our system to make sure it's very close to our culture.
The auditors will check how they're applying it, and if they make it simpler, the auditor's going to be far happier because there's a lot less for him to inspect, and the records are far more easily retrieved and observed during the audit.
If you are ISM compliant or if you got your document, I don't think the work is over.
They may have the impression that once the system is set up, it will last forever without any maintenance, While other companies are adopting a bookshelf solution without realizing that the true commitment and the real benefit of ISM code cannot be brought as an off-the-shelf commodity.
We're changing, things are changing, the needs are changing, so the ISM has to change as well.
You're never finished with ISM. You're never finished of safety or pollution or way of thinking of doing things on board of the ship. You must keep it alive.
An SMS should be a dynamic system which changes as the ship and crew's needs and circumstances change. If the ISM code is put at the center of the SMS, the outcome can be a simple, effective system which creates a cycle of continuous improvement, at the same time avoiding unnecessary paperwork and duplication of effort.
It's a dangerous place, it's a big ship, people can get hurt.
Now let's look at one important issue in particular. What is a non-conformity, or NC for short? What do you need to report? How should a good reporting system work?
The first thing to do is to keep safety in mind.
Of course, non-conformities happen ashore as well as on board.
We have to handle that non-conformity and solve that problem. And when it is a non-conformity where we can't do about anything, we send that non-conformity to the office and look if they can help us.
Anybody can report a defect, a non-conformity of the system to the master. The master can then investigate it. And if you take away the culture, make it no blame, then people will report it because they'll feel comfortable with the system, and then you move ahead.
Non-conformity is not a negative thing because nobody is perfect. Mistakes are made. That's nothing special that we find a non-conformity.
I believe non-conformities are a great help for us, for everybody.
A non-conformity is basically a situation where there is objective evidence of any failure in a ship's safety management system or processes which results in a hazardous occurrence or an unsafe condition. This includes pollution or other environmental hazards. Here, leaving the manhole cover open and unfenced has created an unsafe condition, which is a non-conformity. Non-conformities are often discovered by internal auditing procedures, where it's shown that practice does not reflect procedure, for instance. Maintenance is a common source of problems. A non-conformity can occur when, for instance, a part fails, which could lead to a dangerous situation. It's not the fact of the part failing which is the non-conformity. Everyone recognizes that general wear and tear is a fact of life. It becomes a non-conformity if the part failed because scheduled maintenance had not taken place, say, or if it had previously failed and been certified OK in routine maintenance checks. Non-conformities can occur onshore as well as at sea. In situations like this, where there is an unsafe condition, a report should first be made to someone who can put the situation right. This should be followed by remedial action. Training, for instance. An effective reporting system is one where reports are kept factual and only distributed to appropriate people. And it's worth considering a system where non-conformities are only reported ultimately to the designated person, the DP, and only passed on by them with the name of the person who made the original report omitted. This is likely to increase the effectiveness of a ship's reporting. But why is it so important to report non-conformities? And won't people that do just be making trouble for themselves?
If you can successfully promote the open culture, then it's very useful, because in that case, you are not waiting for some accident to happen. You can take preventive measures, and some crew member might tell you some hazard area or potential non-conformities, and then you can take preventive actions.
Now, the other good thing about reporting NC is it can be used to identify training. If somebody is not doing a job properly or whatever, maybe the training he possesses currently is not sufficient for him to do the job, Under the circumstances, the NC may help him to obtain the necessary training to ensure that he is qualified for the job.
So there's a prize to be won. Fewer incidents on board ship, making it a safer place to live and work, and reducing environmental impact. And if the culture is right, individuals are more likely to be offered training after an incident than anything else. In fact, there are a number of advantages for every seafarer. Improved safety, better training, better time management, safer work, less fatigue, and less risk to the individual, their workmates, the cargo, and the ship itself. Now let's look again at the main points we've covered in this program. The ISM Code is a key element in accident prevention and the reduction of losses, pollution incidents, and environmental damage. Putting it at the heart of an SMS can greatly aid the smooth and safe operation of a ship. Common factors which can contribute to a system simply not doing what it's intended to do include failure to get staff involved, lack of clear responsibility, lack of proper training, and sometimes just too many manuals and paperwork. But many companies and individuals have fully embraced the code and are operating more efficiently as a result. How? The whole company, from senior management downwards, including everyone on the shore side involved with safety and pollution prevention, needs to take a proactive attitude towards safety. It's important to foster a no-blame culture. And external, and particularly internal audits and auditors can be helpful sources of information about how the ship can be made safer. An SMS should be a dynamic system which changes as the ship and crew's needs and circumstances change. When the ISM code is put at the center of the SMS, the outcome can be a simple, effective system. A nonconformity is basically a situation where there is objective evidence of any failure in a ship's safety management system or processes which results in a hazardous occurrence or an unsafe condition. This includes pollution or other environmental hazards. Nonconformities can occur on shore as well as at sea. And an effective reporting system is one where reports are kept factual and only distributed to appropriate people, perhaps with the name of the person who made the original report omitted. If the culture is right, individuals are more likely to be offered training after an incident than anything else. The booklet that comes with this video offers more detail about how to make the ISM code work for you. But don't forget, the ISM code, properly applied, can deliver for every seafarer improved safety, better training, better time management, safer work, and less risk to the individual, their workmates, the cargo, the ship itself, and the environment.
The ship itself cannot be safe just as a piece of metal. There are people who are working there to keep it safe. But they firstly have to be safe themselves. So ISM does help you to be safer.
You have safety which is across the board and you have trained crews. That is the main benefit.
ISM code was a revolution because all of a sudden you have an instrument which changes mentalities, way of the culture and the way of thinking, and which can bring a lot of good and a lot of dignity to seafarers.